Welcome to Showmance, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth. And tonight we are covering part 3 of The Valley, season 3. We did it. We are so close to the end of this dumpster fire. And to add insult to a very injury-prone season of this show, they did not release the screener at all. So we are here watching the episode live, pausing, and then reporting live on the event. Oh, I forgot I need to start my timer.
We were talking earlier, or I was just mostly me complaining about how even Summer House, who had Emmy-nominated Summer House, who has every reason, with everything that was built up around that show, they had every reason to literally not give us any screeners for weeks. Like they could have just been like, it's too precious. Sorry, good luck to all watching it live. And they never did that. The latest they ever came, I think, was like 3 p.m. or something on one of the reunions.
They came at the 11th hour, but they came.
Yeah, they came. This show just never showed up. And then you never get an email saying, oh, by the way, nothing's coming. So you're just all day long refreshing and whatever. Anyway.
But the absolute mirroring of the season with that, like the show never showed up all season.
It was so lazy.
And right. And like this just feels like, you know, in the never showing up of the screener, it and don't get me wrong, we're very grateful. I just mean there's some sort of, and I know it's not irony because I know that's not the actual use of the word, but we all misuse irony. So it just feels ironic.
It does. And this is something else. And I could literally eat these words because I never went and looked. It's also, I also don't really understand how to read ratings anyhow. But like, I feel like I always hear from people that are not involved that the ratings were horrible, that like this show is totally tanking. Everyone is super pissed at it. Everyone's just bummed and fighting and hates it and has every horrible thing to say. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not watching it because, obviously here we are. And I feel like I hate this show more than anyone on this planet besides Chrissy Cheeks. All I'm hearing from every time the cast is being interviewed anywhere, they always have like bring up how like the ratings are so phenomenal. And maybe they are, but there's also something about how like when you are in trouble, it's good to keep up morale. It's good to keep talking into the universe as if things are great. No, we are blowing this bitch up. Yeah. Like it's on fire. I can't believe it. They've never seen anything like it. It's very Trumpian. It's really rubbed off on everyone after this last, what feels like 100 years.
It's not.
Of Trumpiness. Yeah, seriously. But anyway, I think that would be funny if that's one of the things that they also did. Oh, we're not going to give the screener out because it's like very like hot commodity.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was thinking that just because they teased out this stupid Danny wedding thing that we will get into in a second because that's what we start the show with. And I thought, oh my God, for one split second, I had the thought of, wait, is there some crazy bombshell from the wedding? And because there were all those leaks with the Summer House stuff, are they really wanting to keep this close to the vest because they don't want anything coming up? Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit.
No. And that thing that I saw of Jesse saying that he had some bombshell that he was going to drop.
Womp womp.
Nope.
I mean, listen, we're not at the end, but I highly doubt it's coming.
No, so I listened to Coca's live stream earlier, which like basically means nothing because I am not because I often don't watch the live streams because we're normally filming by the time she's doing that. But I had to today to try to get any semblance of anything. Anyways, I was littered with ads. So every time anything important would come on, there a 3 or 4 minute ad would pop up. I kept trying to like exit out and go back in. It was like, no, we're on to you. We're going to start them over now. Anyway, but I feel like even Coca was saying you cannot trust Bravo's teasers, their coming attractions, whether even for the season, for the mid-season, even just for next week's episode. Like they're never correct.
It happened at the top of this show.
Yeah.
So when we ended last episode, part 2, it was asking Danny, did you drink at the wedding? And he said no.
Yeah.
And then we start this episode and Andy says, did you drink at the wedding? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it?
I don't know. And we have been through this unless they're going to get more into it later, which I feel like they don't.
I think it's done.
It doesn't seem like there was anything. There was nothing.
Should we just jump into it?
Let's jump into it because I want this to be
Yeah. So basically, we're going to be kind of like we're at the first commercial break. So we're going to talk about what we just saw, and then we're going to go back to it and watch. And so you'll just probably see a lot of my little effect where like the film, it looks like a film strip is rolling. I don't know what else to transition with.
That's perfect.
So,
Also, I don't have my notes like I normally do
yeah.
because we would be here till literally next Wednesday doing this
until the season started again.
That's right.
And we wouldn't even get to enjoy
And
the
I'm
off
just
time.
raw dogging it.
Yeah.
Lucky
Just
you.
like the rest of this cast.
Yeah.
I don't even think they are. I don't even think they're doing. I think they're so lazy that they're not even fucking.
Well, in classic Harris fashion, I decided to wear a Budweiser t-shirt in honor of Danny.
And when I asked you why does Danny have a thing for Budweiser, what was your answer?
I said he probably has a problem with it.
Which gets us into the top of this episode.
What a segue.
Thank you. Danny says, yes, I did drink at the wedding. And listen, I've got shit to say about Danny in a second. But if we're just going off of what actually happened, because it's this awful game of telephone, Nia sent Jesse a text saying, hey, we're going back to our room, so please don't call him trying to drag him out.
Yeah.
Do I think that she wanted to deal with some slopopotamus drunk husband all night? Absolutely not. Do I also think that they don't have kids? Let's just enjoy the evening, just us. And if you're out at this party, like you're going to get annoyed, you're going to be out. I don't want to go. I'm tired. Maybe we could have sex. Like there's just so many things that are mixed into that text.
Yes.
And
it's such a wife thing to say. Don't get him all riled up.
That's right.
Don't call him and try to get him to go out with the buddies later.
Yeah.
Like that's such a wife thing to say.
Hasn't anyone watched Everybody Loves Raymond?
Oh my God. Is anyone married anymore? Is anyone married out there in TV land? Like,
Yeah.
It's a very normal thing to say, right?
yes. Like, oh God, this show is, I
You're
hate
mad because of,
all of it.
but you're mad because they're mad about that text.
I'm mad because from what like I said, I watched a little bit of the live stream because I kept getting interrupted. So I don't have anything like hard to go on. But all I know is that the entire time I was watching it, I was just constantly kept feeling like, who gives a shit? Like that's what I was just yelling to myself with my earbuds in as I was getting ready around the house was like, who fucking cares? This is so dumb. I cannot believe that there are a crew of like 200 people on these couches having an opinion about so much nothingness.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Lala kept trying to interject in the beginning. She does make some valid points later on, but she kept interjecting saying, you calling someone to say, you know, don't bring my husband out. I don't want him drinking. Like Nia didn't say that. You are putting words in her mouth. I understand you're doing that because of your experience or what you think your experience was through the lens of Janet this season, but that's just not what happened. And yeah, was he down at the bar in a tank top, didn't have shoes on, watching the World Cup, having a beer? 100%. If Shane's an alcoholic, so maybe that's a bad example, but he was my last boyfriend, so I'm trying to think of the one before that. If and people know it was a baseball player and I don't want to say his first name because I'm not trying to out who he is. Whatever. I've dated people. Okay. I just want to say that if any of these dudes were down, like I could see them not, because I date kooky people, like no shoes on, a tank top, whatever, just having a beer watching the World Cup. I could see that happening. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was watching this, it reminded me of this podcast that I was listening to literally earlier today. Michelle Obama was being interviewed by Keke Palmer. We were just talking about Keke because we love her. And she was talking about her relationship with Barack and how her mom had said to her, this was maybe when she was in, like her and Barack were already married. And her mom said, I need to explain to you every year, the same time every year, I would contemplate if I wanted to pick up and leave the house and divorce your father. And Michelle was like, what? Are you how did we never know this? We thought you guys were happily married. She goes, we were, but also we were together for 800 years.
Yeah.
And there are going to be things that desperately get on your nerves about this person. And you are going to probably once a year want to murder them or leave them. And you realize, I actually don't want to do either one of those things. I'm in a moment. And if you walked out that door, and you have said this to me, if you walk out that door and pick someone else, then you are just going to be dealing with their stuff.
A whole new bag of
A
bullshit.
whole new bag of bullshit.
And you got to get to know. You have to
You
get
have
your
to
microscope
relearn.
out and look at all of it and be like, is this a thing? give it some time to figure out if it's a thing. It's a whole time suck.
And here's the thing. I do definitively think there are crap partners and bad relationships. And if someone is verbally abusive to you, don't even like, of course, physically abusive. If you are with someone who is in active addiction, if there are, or you guys are completely misaligned. I watch couples therapy on Paramount Plus. It is so good. And you see some of these couples sit down and you are marveled by the fact that they have been together for 23 years because you guys are chalk and cheese. You don't like each other, or at least not 23 years later. You have nothing in common. The way you speak to each other is atrocious. Yes, those people should leave each other. And you don't need to be 23 years in. There's couples that are 3 years in that you're just like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
I don't think that is Danny and Nia. I think that is what Michelle was talking about when she's just like, it's gonna be somebody else's crap. Danny has a issue with drinking. He needs to get it looked at. I still think that they are the right partners for each other.
1,000% I do too. I think about how like I don't listen, if that's her reality every day, if he's talking to her that way every day, obviously that's a thing. Schwartz jumps in and says like, you're acting like Nia's like this pushover like person that you could just do whatever to, and she's just gonna go inward and create, like that's not her.
She's a triple black belt.
Yeah. All the things, and we talk about this stuff every week, that like she's just not that person, and I feel like people are constantly putting her in that box. So I don't believe that it's like that often, but like
I think they do that because they live a more traditional lifestyle with certain values. So they must think that she's just gonna keel over.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's who she is.
No,
at
clearly
all.
not.
No,
At all.
I really don't at all.
I think Lala's assessment of that was way off.
Yeah.
And way uncool.
And projection
Very
disclaimer,
uncool.
Lala is projecting her experience
100%
with
with
Randall.
Randall.
So hardcore.
So bad.
The thing is, listen, Danny has a slew of issues that he needs to deal with because Kristen nailed it. She's like, if you don't like him sober, you're not going to like him drunk, because he still has these little ticks when he's sober, right? But even on in his worst moment, I don't think he even holds a candle to how crappy and abusive Randall was.
Candle to Randall.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold the candle to Randall. And I also think that she is very off when she's trying to take her experience and say, because of this, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
With Nia.
Which is disappointing to me because I think Lala to be very smart, but the fact that she's not clocking this about herself right now.
I think she's too blinded by what happened
rage?
to her.
Okay.
That's so much of what I'm watching Lala do right now. Yeah. There's like, Lala has been in, who else is who are her relationships? She had, a long friendship, romantic back and forth with James Kennedy for a minute.
Jax, for like a hot second, they were maybe going to hook up. I don't know if they ever actually did, but she was entertaining it.
Yeah. So even like I could put like, the only reason I'm even bringing up James is because it was a long friendship, and then they did hook up now and again and whatever. But obviously, like how I've said, like she chooses to write for very like controversial people and whatever. Like I've told everyone, like I love eccentric people. I have like been cut off from being able to invite new people to the dinners I had a talking to from my friends. They were like, you and your new friends can schedule your own dinners. Like no new people without some pre-screening.
Glad I made the cut.
Totally.
Same.
Totally. But I just find I'm just entertained by like kind of wild or crazy people, and I just think that's just wow. I didn't even pay for this entertainment, and here it is at my dinner table. A lot of people don't feel that way. So I understand. I'm not knocking Lala for her choice in like finding the underdogs and whatever. I don't know. But she does have that, and it just seems like with her. I guess she was never married to the Randall, right?
No. Engaged, but
engaged.
Not. Yeah.
So I am not saying at all what she knew when she knew it. I'm not saying she didn't know things when she's like, I don't know. I don't even care to get into it. It doesn't matter to me. But it's very convenient how Lala gets to make all of these choices on her own. She gets to go and be with crazy people, have crazy friends like James Kennedy, and decide to have kids any which way she wants to have them, which a lot of people, I'm sure, do have an opinion about. I couldn't give a flying shit. I'm not saying anyone should have an opinion. I'm just saying that Lala lives her life however the she wants to. And it just seems very convenient that she doesn't really like think about how other people get to also enjoy those same.
That's such a good point. And she got so much pushback for every dude she dated on that show.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a time when I think she was dating some athlete that always remained nameless, and that's fine. But then when Randall came around and people would say, oh, why can't we meet this athlete guy? Or now who's this? You're a mistress to this guy, Randall? What's going on? And so many people didn't want to get to know him. They were calling her a homewrecker. Oh, you do sexual things so that you can get a car. I mean, she got a lot of pushback for the way that she wanted to live her life. And and clearly she learned her lesson. And if that's the case, babe, like either one, let Nia live her life and learn her lesson if that's what's in store for her, or actually be a good friend and give her the message in the way that it could be received. Because when people came for you and tried to tell you, we think Randall's a degenerate and this is a bad dude and you shouldn't be with him and you're going to get shit on for being with him, she didn't want to hear it. And she always fought back.
No, it was very much like, you're going to talk about my man, my man. Like, I will kill you if you come for my, like she was.
You trying to get popped?
Yes. She was ready to die for this, like degenerate of the city.
Yeah. Filth.
Oh, Mike's home. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
That pizza is yours.
It just came. It's hot.
Yeah. And there's pinkberry in the refrigerator.
Freezer.
Or
I don't know
freezer.
if that matters.
No, I don't know.
You're saying that Lala intentionally delivered the message of like, you should leave your husband?
No, I don't think she was intentionally trying to be tough when she was delivering the message.
I got it.
What I'm saying is everyone gave her their opinion in a really tough manner when she was with Randall, and she did not appreciate it and went very hard at everyone.
I see what you're saying.
Don't talk about my man and we're good and you need to get to know him, and if you only knew, blah, blah, blah. And listen, turned out they were all correct. So now Lala thinks, oh, now I'm correct about Danny. She might be. Jury's still out. The bottom line is she didn't receive that information well when they all came for her.
That's true.
So then give the information to Nia the way you wanted to receive the info. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, or just maybe remember that it was just 5 minutes ago that everyone was telling you how to live your life and you were irate about it.
Yep.
So like, obviously, I'm not saying like nobody gave you any shit. So why are you giving? They did give you shit and you didn't like it. And so it just seems very odd to me that like there are just things that like happen in life that like sometimes I almost think it's like, I mean, I'm a naturally liberal person, but I also think it's very convenient to be liberal because you live and let live, and then people let you do, you expect it the same in return.
That's
like
right.
I treat people with like, do whatever you want.
Do you, boo?
Because I'm gonna do whatever I want. So like I would like that mutual like respect, you
same.
know? So I'm into that. And it's weird to me because I've always found Lala to be so smart and like just picks up on shit really quickly and identifies things. And it's like, it's wild that like she has this entire blinder on about this specific thing about a relationship. And it's not just a relationship. It's a marriage of 10 years who there are 4 tiny children involved. So her just saying like, no, I do think you should just like, if this is how he talks to you, then you should go find someone who babies you and then take all your babies and move in with that person and live a lovely life. Like it is the most ignorant, like just stupid, dumbass shit thing to say. And this is not a dumb bitch. And so I don't know why you're acting like a dumb bitch, Lola. I love you.
I'm telling
I don't
you,
know
in defense of Janet,
what you're doing right now.
I think it's so much deeper than that. I really think it's because of her experience with Randall, and she's a very independent single parent right now.
Yeah.
And I think she thinks, listen, girl, I got out and it is so much better on the other side. You need to do the same. And what she's not realizing is your situation and her situation are not the same.
Nothing alike
They are
at all.
so unbelievably different.
And you know, okay, so
But even if they weren't, let her learn that.
no,
Sorry.
no, that's number one. That obviously, like how she hasn't learned, like, oh, no, it doesn't take much. It probably took me like the first few years of my 20s to learn, like, you can't tell anyone to do anything. They have to experience it for themselves. It's not a hard thing to grasp. What I think is kind of wild also is that, like, I don't know what she knew about Randall and when she knew it. But it's not like And I understand also that there was extenuating, like she talks about how like they went to a therapist and the therapist even told her this ex-wife is crazy. Like that's why, like I was their therapist. That's why, like I think the therapist was like in on it. Like maybe Randall gave her some side dough. I have no idea, but I'm just wondering if Randall gave her a little heads up call. There's a nice, 10K in it for you. I'll leave at the door if you just kind of like, I have no idea. When that's awful, you should be disbarred or whatever, dislicensed.
Lose your license.
I don't know, all the things. But I understand that those things were happening. But like he was married and everybody told you he was married and like it wouldn't have actually been very hard to find out if you wanted to. Like there was definitely some head bearing there. You were very young. I don't care about any of this. Bury your head in the sand however you want to, but just remember your experiences. Let those experiences aid you in how you are going about treating other people. Like to forget all of that shit is wild. And for you to think like, I'm out and it's so much better over here, so now I'm going to shove it down your throat until you listen to me and do what I say, when you have an entire life and a gigantic house out in the middle of nowhere with
Two houses. She has one in the Valley and she has one in Palm Springs.
No. I mean, I'm talking about Nia.
Sorry.
Like she has this entire life that's built. It's not like Nia's 23 years old and with her 25-year-old boyfriend and she's a waitress and he's, what it's just.
This isn't season 1 of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
She's like a fully formed adult with 4 children, a husband, a mortgage.
I feel like she's got to be around 40, like, because Danny's 45, so Nia's, maybe Nia's 35, I don't know, but like she's not a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
like, all of this is just wild to me. All of that said, the biggest blanket of this to me, like all those things are annoying. The biggest annoyance to me about Lala is that all she's doing is talking about, if it's not about the drinking stuff or it's not about like what these two should do with their lives, it's about how they're hiding their lives. Or like that comment she had last week about, oh, I think you forgot to close the blinds. Lala, you have not told us a single thing about your own life
the entire
this
season.
Entire season.
Yeah.
That's wild to me that you're out here talking about these people and telling them what to do and telling them that like how they're acting and you think they're hiding something. What are you hiding? Like out with it already. And I don't even care what you're hiding. That's the difference between you and I. I don't care what you're doing. But like I feel like if you're gonna jump down people's throats every 5 seconds and be the biggest Karen next to Janet, I never thought you had it in you to be this much of a Karen.
I know, neither did I.
No, and to do it while not showing us anything, like I don't know, man. I don't like this.
Yeah, it's like, when there's I'm imagining this is what happens in sports because I don't watch them, but like you have a player that you really love on this one team and it gets traded to another team and you're thinking, oh yeah, they'll be great for that team.
Yeah.
And then they just have the worst season because it's just, they can't play there. It's just not working out. They're not jiving with these people. Also, Nia is 36.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to give you that piece of information.
Lala got traded from the Chargers to the Rams.
Sure.
We have a new Dodger right now that I was very excited about, but is just giving away wins left and right. Edwin Diaz or something. He's got the trumpet.
It's like if Kike got switched to I don't know.
The Yankees?
The Yankees.
How dare you?
Yeah, don't
even
say that.
entertain that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're still wanting to kiki with Kike. How that's not his podcast is the world's biggest miss.
At one point in time, Lala was the Kike of the Bravo world, or at least Vanderpump, at least. Yeah. And now she's womp womp, and I don't want her on my screen anymore. I want her off.
I know.
Unless she shares more and stops being Janet's bulldog.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll ever get that.
What do we think about the moment when Brittany had said to Nia, hey, listen, you and Jax and I are completely different than you and Danny. I just get triggered when I see any morsel of that. I do understand that feeling. Like I've had that feeling about certain things in life where I see someone do something that just triggers me because of my own experience with whatever. I get that. I also...
For me, it was a little bit too soon for her to say that, coming shortly off the backs of Brandon. Like, you have the awareness of that for Nia, but you don't have the awareness of it for yourself, Brittany.
Yes.
Like, I always say, know thyself.
Yeah.
Before we start throwing stones from our glass house.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Jax is such a disgusting, despicable human being that like, I'm sorry, even the way that Brittany was talking about it at all. And I know that by the time the reunion came, is saying, I'm not comparing you at all. Cause I think she's probably had a minute to think about it because the flashback that we saw was from the party, was from Halloween. That's how long ago this, Jesus,
it's literally
Bravo.
almost
Get
Halloween
your
now.
shit together.
Yeah.
This
Talk
is
to the
wild.
people at Love Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is back at Halloween and she's telling Nia in this flashback, oh, I just get so annoyed when I see these girls saying, oh, don't worry about him. He can do whatever he wants. And Nia's like, I never said that. And she's like, I know, but it seems like that's what that's what you're doing or that's what you think. Like, no, Nia has literally never said he can do whatever he wants.
And she also said something to the tune of, and you say everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to just sweep it under the rug, defend him and pretend like nothing's going on. And Nia said, I've never done that.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Again, I don't know why I keep bringing up sports things because I've literally never watched any sports ever. But didn't everyone hate Kobe because he was just so good? And it was like so easy to hate. Like if you weren't a Lakers fan, didn't he get?
I mean, I guess anybody would hate. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
they just win all the time and they're just like kind of sour
and he's
on
like
them.
massively cocky in the best way. I love you, Kobe, forever and ever, amen.
Yeah, like I just remember hearing things like that or whatever, and no one is saying. Sorry, I had a good analogy here, a good sports analogy. I think he has bad games, he misses baskets, but he's just so
Kobe.
Yeah, I would imagine, right?
No.
Oh. He never missed a basket?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Well, he had to have. There's no way. That's impossible. Sorry. I can't fall for this.
Speak ill of the dead.
Okay. My point is that not everything in his life and performance was always flawless all the time because that is an impossibility. Okay. He's just better than everyone else. And I don't know what to, as a player, right? Like that's what I've heard. See the light spark and that's
hey, Kobe.
Kobe's spirit saying you're right. No, he's saying she's right.
Yeah.
And so my point is Nia is just better than all of these people. And she's better in the way of, I don't mean that they're all terrible people. I just mean when she sits down to defend herself, she never goes below the belt. She lets you speak. She is very firm. She stands up for herself. She is clear. She says, no, it's not perfect. And I have never said it was. And there's examples that come up very soon where Andy was talking about, like, why would you not just don't drink on camera? And Nia's like, right, you would think he would want his absolute best behavior then, but he doesn't do it. Mm-hmm. She is honest about it. But because she's such a better player than all of you, they're
going for the jugular.
You're just salty about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah. They're all very salty about it. And
because she never says it's perfect. She never says we have a perfect life.
Obviously, there are boundaries and lines to be drawn. This is a very general statement. But the entire point of a marriage is to be in a partnership. And if you have a partner, you want to have their back. Danny is a shitty partner in public right now. Danny seems to me like it's like, I think these cameras are a horrible thing for him. Not because they're catching what he's doing. I think that Danny may very well have a thing in him that makes him act out even more when a camera's on.
Totally.
And where she sees a camera and goes, bring it down. Yeah. He sees a camera and he's in character. He's in character.
She's like, do less, he's do more.
He's like, do more and say everything that you think because you're really going to make a huge impact right now in explaining all of this.
But and you're just too much.
Not. It's too much. You bury yourself even further. You look so disconnected from reality, Danny. Like that hasn't changed. I think
Nia tries really hard to get him to realize that.
Yeah.
But it's always in moments where he's gone off the deep end too much and there's to the point of no return.
Yeah.
So you can't hear her in that moment.
And I think she tries to defend him and tries to get him to like sober up or whatever mentally.
Or just reel it in.
Yeah, reel it in, like
in all fashion.
Metaphorically and literally sometimes sober up. But I feel like she never says we're perfect. I think Nia's whole philosophy is like me and Daniel are in a partnership that we're trying to better each other.
Yeah.
And I think she's doing a lot of the work of that right now.
Yeah.
But never has she said, we are perfect. We have the perfect marriage.
No.
Like, we are perfect people. She's been so vulnerable about the fact that she's had a very sordid past.
Yeah.
And their marriage is not perfect. And they have a lot of hardships.
Crazy couples therapy.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, the
intense therapy because they were
postpartum.
looking at each other like they wanted to kill each other all the time.
Exactly. I mean, the postpartum, that definitely puts strain. So for Lala and like, therefore, Janet, and by proxy, to posit that they have this narrative that they're perfect is just, again, like you said, projection. I feel like it's all just projection.
Yeah, but everyone is just irritated about everything that they do and how they do everything because it's not how they would do it or not how they want to do it, or it's because oddly it's working for them and it shouldn't be, and they don't like that it's not. Like, there's just so...
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just, like, it's Nia. It's not Danny. Nia's just a better player.
Yeah.
And they're all salty about it.
Yeah.
Because in this next moment, Danny proves himself to be the crappier player when, you know, he's talking about the fact that, you know, Jax brought up this narrative. It doesn't matter if Jax brought up the narrative. You're still a bad drunk.
Yes.
So
And
that's
you're being so annoying right now.
Yeah.
yes. And that's what someone on that stage should have said. It doesn't, you're right. Jax was gunning for you.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first MFer to tell you, the point remains that you get drunk and you're not a nice guy, and you come off as such a prick. And quite frankly, there were times when you were sober that you came off as a prick.
Yeah.
And that's what we're wanting you to work on. And he can't own up to that. The therapy is not therapying enough that he has been honest about that for anything that satisfied me as a viewer.
No, God, no. And he, at a certain point, here's the thing. Right now, so the other part of this of like why I think that Nia is the way that she is, not just because like that's his partner and she's just clearly a really great partner to him and he is a horrible one in this respect. I'm sure he's a lovely father. I'm sure that he makes sure the bills are paid, and
I do think he's changing diapers and getting up with the kids. I do think he does that.
And this is so funny because Travis and Mike hate Danny. But they just had at NBC. Probably on every show, but obviously Mike works on AGT. So they had their friends and family night at this shoot night last night. And so it's just self-explanatory. Bring your friends and bring your family. All like the NBC execs bring like their kids, and like
sweet.
the hosts and the judges bring their kids, whatever. Danny was there. So both Travis and Mike are sending me text, which I think I just sent you screenshots
They're
of
so
them.
funny.
Yeah.
But wait, I wonder who Danny's friends and family with that he...
I don't know. I haven't asked him yet.
Okay.
I'll find that out though. But even Travis said, so our PA, let me just read it so I don't mess it up. I was surprised that Travis came forth with this information.
Me too. He didn't realize he was just handing you a little gift.
Yeah. He said, Devin, our key PA, just said, I just handed out glow sticks and made eye contact with Danny from the Valley, and he actually helped me pass out the glow sticks in his row. Like, that's Danny getting up and helping the schmuck that's come to like get into every row and pass out these glow sticks. Danny hops up, grabs some sticks, and is giving them to the people in his row. Like,
what'd you say?
Great neighbor.
Yep.
Great neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, there's
and
just...
there might be a camera on in somewhere in the
That's
room.
true.
You know,
There
like
could have been. Yeah,
he might
he's
be like,
are we rolling yet? Do we have sound speed?
yeah.
I'm a union guy, but I won't say anything, so don't worry.
You want pink or yellow?
Totally. I know that so many people are listening to this right now and being like, if I have to hear this bitch show for Danny for 5 more seconds, I'm going to die. All I'm saying is that you got to be dumb to not understand that this guy has obviously some huge flaws. I do not think that she's marrying a guy that is not a great provider, a great father.
He's not Randall.
No,
he's not
farthest
Randall.
thing from.
He's not Jax.
And he's not Jax. These are two really bad dudes.
Yeah.
And that's you're putting him in that category. I'm not saying Danny is husband of the year. He is not the partner I would choose for myself, but I don't think he is those guys.
No.
100%.
What Danny needs to know is that right now he does have Nia by the balls. And I think that Nia very much is a person that's like, I made a commitment. I got married. That's a forever until death do us part situation. I think that she meant every word of those vows. I think that they mean more to her than the average person. And I think I am not at all saying that, like, if you're in a super shitty, like you're just getting abused, of course you shouldn't stay married. But like those vows do mean things to some people. I am so sorry if that's, you're not down with that.
Especially when you have 4 kids with them.
Yes. So right now, there are going to be things that like, I hope he understands that you got her in a sweet spot for yourself right now, Danny. Those kids will grow up, and she is not going to be spoken that way to for a very much longer. Like, and you're only disintegrating, like every day that you do something like this, you're chipping away at her. And a woman will come to a point where she'll,
that's right,
uncle. And it may not be until the kids are 18, but then you will be living that second half of your life Nia free, and Nia will find another guy. She's going to be one of those bitches that looks like this for a very long time.
I know that this is not how Jay-Z meant it, but it always reminds me of that line in Song Cry when he says, once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's not what he meant, but I do liken it to what you're saying. When a woman turns a corner and she's tried everything. She has been patient. We've tried therapy. And I have hung in longer than anyone should, but we had the mortgage, we had kids, whatever. I did it, and now I'm done serving this sentence, and there is nothing you could say or do to change my mind. Yeah. It's like a genetic thing that happens.
Somebody in our comments actually said, I don't know if it was Heather Pike, it was someone that was saying that on average, a woman knows for a year before she leaves. Like she's been planning on it for a year. Maybe there'll be ebbs and flows in it. Yeah, exactly. Maybe there will be times in it where it's like she'll backburner it or whatever, but like it will take them a year. So like
Minnie's trying to tell you she's known for a year. She wants
she's
to
known
leave.
for a year.
Jeez, Minnie. Yeah. You're not going anywhere, Minnie.
Minnie, get on the poof.
Yeah,
Minnie.
you're here forever.
Yeah, I'll grab her treats. So yeah, they might be ebbs and flows and whatever, but once someone has made that decision, it is a lot harder to get them back on track. It could be next to impossible. I'm not saying you shouldn't try, but like it's.
This segment ends with Lala chirping up to talk about how she really does, she's an alcoholic and she's not diagnosing Danny, but she is going to point out the fact that every time his drinking is brought up, it's someone else's fault. It's the way,
he brings up Jax.
He's always pointing to someone else. He's hiding his drinking. He's lying about his drinking. And she is right. When she's in this space talking to him, about him, I very much agree with her. It's when she then flips right after this and says the whole thing about Nia needing to leave Danny and all of that. That's where she loses me.
It's so childish.
It's so childish. But this is where I don't worry about Nia, because even if Danny's not going to last, they're going to go 15 years, 20 years, and then she's going to be out. She handled herself so well in this situation specifically. And we saw that on the show. We've seen that on the show season after season. Yeah. That I'm not worried about her. I'm just not. I want everything to work out for her because I like her, but I'm not worried about her.
Same.
No, yeah. I want her to have everything she wants. I do hope that Danny I don't know if Danny has it in him.
Like to change.
I mean, what I hate is that so often that dude seems so stubborn to me, like mega stubborn, and is so convinced that he's a great person. I think he probably is a great person. I think he's I think he's a good American. Okay. Like, I don't know what, this isn't my dude, but like, I don't see this guy as like, he's not a threat to me. Like he's just want to pat him on the head and be
annoying.
Like, bro, I hope you get it together.
He's just really annoying.
No, super annoying. But I think that when I see someone that is so delusional with I think that he thinks he is coming across like he's 10 feet tall. Yeah. And he's coming across like a clown.
He's got the Napoleon effect.
Yeah. And I don't feel bad for him, but that's like, oh, kiddo. Like so much to learn.
Do you know what's interesting as you're saying this to me, where it's just, I think he's a good American and he's not my dude. I'm not picking him. I'm thinking this is why him and Jesse were able to forge a friendship, because it's how I feel about Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse lives around the corner from me. He hasn't necessarily been a friendly neighbor. I see him on many a walk, never makes eye contact, never smiles, smoking a cig, dog's not on a leash. He's got a little dog. There's a lot of coyote. They're out all the time. I think it is very
irresponsible.
Very irresponsible of him.
The fact that anybody, I obviously you got to walk. The fact that people even walk in your neighborhood gives me anxiety thinking about it because she lives in a canyon. Like Courtney's lived there for how many years?
10 years.
10 years. I still use Waze to get there because there are so many left, right on the most random things. They all look alike. So if you're not doing it on a very regular, dude, I was doing it on a regular basis. I was still using my map to make sure that this was the turn here. There was a Ukraine flag forever that I was
still
like,
there.
Okay, oh, is it still there? Like that. That's how I knew.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so for him he's out there walking all the time with a small dog, not on a leash. There's not just coyotes. There are cars coming around that you never like. That's wild.
It's crazy. And he's always on the phone and he's always smoking his cig. And that's fine. You can be on the phone and be smoking your cigarette. Shane did it all day, every day, at the house, or in the neighborhood. But you got to put your dog on a leash. And also it's a neighborhood. We have a school like right in the middle of all of the streets. It is a very familial, everybody kind of neighborhood. The fact that he's just such a salty dude, it irks me. And he's not doing himself any favors because on the show, I've never taken to him. I've never liked him on the show, right? With that being said, do I think he's a horrible person? Absolutely not. Do I think he is stealing from his clients? Do I think he cheated on Michelle? Do I think he physically harms Lacey? No, and no. Mm-mm. He's not my dude. I don't want to go out with him on any level as a friend romantically. I'm sure he doesn't want to go out with me. So there's no love lost there. But my point is, this is why Danny and Jesse, I think, have been able to forge a friendship. And I think it's the same thing. I'm not a fan of Jesse's, but do I think he's a horrible person? No. Do I think Jax is an actual dangerous human being? 100%.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, you could get herpes.
Yeah. And you could. And I'm not saying that Janet is a Jax because she is not. Do I think Janet manipulates and shoots to kill? I do.
I do too. And that it would bring her joy. I do believe that Janet has a dark heart. Like I think there's some demons in her. Maybe they're fixable. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. I wish I'd never see her again. But she has a thing about her. The looks
that she was throwing, the pearl clutching in this one scene.
Yes.
I wanted to jump through the screen, grab the pearls, and throw them at her.
Yeah, and be like, these are fake.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah,
we like you.
Yeah. Who do you think is more offensive, Danny or Jesse?
Danny.
You want to know why? Oh, go ahead.
Because at least sometimes Jesse can be kind of funny.
No, absolutely.
Like, and not like cheese dick funny, like sarcastic funny.
I would way rather hang out with Jesse. Go ahead.
Yes, I agree with that. But I also think it's because Jesse wears his douchebaggery on him.
Yes.
He's not trying to say that he's a church-going, great husband, whatever, Yeah. He is the guy who wants to order the $5,000 bottle of wine that can't pay it. He's the guy in LA typically who drives a Ferrari, lives in a shack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not, and all of that walks into the room before Jesse does. You know that about him.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think he is more devious than Danny is.
Agreed. But I expect it from Jesse.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I might listen, I wouldn't touch either of them with a 10-foot pole. Don't get me wrong. But I might feel more like I've got my hands wrapped around Danny better than Jesse, because Jesse is so affected by the this and the that
cash and the sparkly shiny
that
things.
I don't know if I could trust his decision making and
100%
and those kinds of things.
Oh, you mean as a partner?
Like,
were you asking that as a partner or just as a person in the world?
I mean, I guess, well, a partner, probably. I don't actually know. Now I don't really know what I was asking, but
because I agree with you. As a partner, Danny. As a person in the world, Jesse.
Yeah.
If I had to spend one night going out to the bars in West Hollywood with either of them, I would pick Jesse 100%.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jesse would be way more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would
I think he
pick
holds
up
his liquor better.
Yeah, he holds his liquor better. He'd order the bottle of whatever champagne that's he can't afford.
Yeah.
And we'd have a great time, and I'd never see him ever again.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
Totally.
Yeah, love it.
Or then when you did, he'd be like, "Oh, do we know each other?"
Yeah.
He probably
No, it's
wouldn't
okay.
even, no, he probably wouldn't even acknowledge you.
No, yeah, he would just keep
That's
walking
what I
with a
mean.
cigarette.
That's what I mean. But he definitely.
But you know
remembers
he's
you,
gonna do
and,
that
like,
to
it
you.
would just be
Yeah,
kind of
whereas-
hilarious.
He's going to cool guy you.
Yeah.
Danny's just gonna be like, "Oh, hey, what's up now?
Hey,
Good to see you again."
Yeah, you
like,
want to come to my barbecue?
yeah, no, I don't. No.
Not at all.
All right, we're gonna watch the
Shall
next
we move
part.
on?
We'll BRB.
And we're back. We start off this little segment with Zach's head injury. We're very happy. He seems to have made a full recovery. Andy thought it was soups adorbs. I have nothing else to say about this. Do you?
Wait, Zach's head now.
Yeah. Okay, great.
No.
We then get into the Michelle Jesse stuff when Michelle had said about the PDA when Lacey got there. I will say that Jesse had a nice little moment where he admitted he understood where he was coming from, or where Michelle was coming from after a moment of them bickering. And Lacey was like, Jesus Christ, when you guys do this, I want to bash my head against a wall.
Yeah.
This is what Jesse's really missing, but maybe he just gets so triggered by her the same way she gets triggered by him. I feel like Michelle is such an, I don't want to say an easy person to get along with, but I don't think Michelle's not a Lala. She's not out there looking to spar with someone for sport, you know? And I think if Jesse could just give her a little bit more, it would pay itself forward tenfold with Michelle.
Okay, I had that thought, and when we talked to Mike about this, Mike was like, he doesn't owe her anything and whatever, and I was just like, it really isn't about owing. It's just about like, oh, this sure is nice getting along with my daughter's mother. May as well just keep that momentum going. That seems like it could benefit everyone and just make life a little bit easier. I was so here for that. And then I feel like it was like kind of right after that. Maybe not right, but like a few episodes. I don't know. Maybe by the time it was the first reunion at the latest, where I was just like, oh, she's kind of crazy. Like she's kind of not crazy. I don't mean like, I think she's
spicier than you thought,
but not even spicier. Listen, this is going to be even a worse word even than crazy was, but I don't have time for this. I don't have time to think of a better one. Like a little less stable than I thought. Like she seems to be someone that I'm not sure how she's taking things in, if they're really digesting the way that other people take them in and process them. Like we caught her in one or two lies that she didn't even really seem to know what to do with once confronted with them. Like there wasn't like she didn't try to get out of it. She was almost just still like staring off into like
oblivion
in a weird way where I think she's had a little trauma. I think she's had a really rough year.
But this is also just big picture note for this reunion, this season. This is why this show is so bad right now.
Yeah.
Because there is no follow through. We have actual moments of things happening, and they're just left like little dangling chads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or hanging chads, dangling participles. It is so annoying when something like that happens and no one says, let's close the loop on this.
Yeah, like Lacey. So sounds like everyone here saw the text message that you just said never happened and took offense being called a liar about it and really like stood strong and like I never sent that and oh my God, can you believe it? And you're dragging other people into it. Like Lala's there again trying to support someone who hasn't really earned it, you know? And no one says anything. The thing that was weird in this specific moment that Michelle was saying, and I understand that they had a longer marriage, and so maybe she was talking about in the beginning of it when we didn't know them. All I know is that I only saw the last year of their marriage, and Jessie was always trying to get with that, and she couldn't be more checked out. She didn't want him touching her. You remember the knit beanie moment where he really tried to come in and she didn't even want to touch him.
Yeah, she was repulsed.
Yeah, she was repulsed. So I am not saying that like she couldn't have just. We met her by the time that she had hit her wall with him. I think that that's probably what happened.
I was just gonna say, is it chicken or egg?
Yeah.
And I think it's
these might be different things, right? Like trying to get laid and trying to be affectionate.
true.
But I think he was also trying to be affectionate with her, and she just
or
was
maybe
like,
that's the only way that he knows how to be affectionate with her.
Ooh.
there is that too.
So and maybe again, that's
Not
just
that
where they
it's
are not a
cool,
good
but-
match because
Yeah.
she wants him to be a little bit softer. Sorry, Lindsay, softer. A little bit more like gentle, whereas he's like, "You're sexy," you know, like let's bang.
Yeah, like
And my saggy
that's
drawers.
yeah, and that's why maybe they're just not maybe they're not a good match.
Yeah.
yeah.
One of them.
They
Many,
just
many,
have
many reasons.
very different definitions of intimacy and initiation of like intimacy. So
She just calls it like she's like, oh, you know, it's been since our daughter was born or whatever that things went south. I just I don't know, this whole thing with the affection. It's a little hard for me to buy that this is a serious thing, that it really upsets her, that like she really tried to be like wanted things. Like I don't take Michelle as ever being a person that's like really wanting to be loved on and cuddled, and she just seems
Aaron
kind of
was
robotic
really
to me.
like that though.
Yes. I just don't know if she wanted that from Jesse. I don't know.
Well, maybe
like,
that's the issue. Maybe she wants it, but not from him.
and so I'm just going with my gut. These are just guts and vibes and whatever. I don't know. I met them for 5 minutes of their marriage. I think that like the show is the only reason they even stayed together for like as long as they did. I think they got a show like right before they were probably planning on splitting. I don't know. I just remember hearing random details of that, and it made sense to me because the way that they interacted. But I have found that Michelle has some victim tendencies, and this seems like another one. Not another, like she's got so many, but just that's what my gut is telling me, that this is just one more thing for her to kind of be like, and God, he spent all the money and he never wanted to touch me. And I don't buy from her that she really wanted to get too involved with the money, or that she really wanted to be touched a ton from Jesse. If you're a gun to my head, that I would say both of those things about her in those situations.
can I share a personal anecdote?
Yes, of course.
So I was talking to my parents a couple weeks ago, and they both have very different accounts of what happened after my little brother was born. But the one thing remains the same, is that their intimacy kind of died after my brother was born. And my mom would attribute it to my dad not really finding her very sexy or like very like physically attractive anymore. She had a lot of body like changes post my brother. And then my dad would attribute it to the fact that she also she felt a little cold. Like she was really sad all the time. And my mom's Asian. They don't really talk about like postpartum. It's not something that you really talk about. I feel like in a lot of non-American cultures, they call it the baby blues, but they don't really know kind of what that entails. So if I'm just speculating here, projection disclaimer, speculation, projection, I would go so far as to say is maybe Michelle herself had postpartum. Yeah. And didn't really know how to articulate that with Jesse.
That could be something, definitely.
And that definitely could have been a factor in the disintegration of their marriage.
Absolutely.
Because that was my lived experience. Was my parents post my brother really struggled to remain affectionate, intimate with each other, and that was honestly, unfortunately for them, the beginning of the end. Very shortly after my brother was born. So I think that could definitely be a factor.
Yeah, dude,
that was just like my experience, and like watching them, I'm watching my parents.
Wow.
So that's kind of, again, projection disclaimer, but I could so see that being a thing. And again, Michelle comes from two very different cultures that they just might not have the words to articulate the way that she might have been feeling post Isabella to be able to understand why she's acting this way towards Jesse or why he's acting that way towards her. So I don't know. That's just my thought process with all of this.
I bet you that's it. I bet you
I'm watching this and I'm like, those are my parents.
You know why else that really resonates? Because as you were saying what you were saying, it is completely logical, but there was something still amiss. And I kept thinking, she's got one of those personalities where she's not a good because I, for whatever reason, feel like I understand what she's trying to say, or I understand the experience that she had. She's just articulating it
in a different way.
And it's not a good way.
Yeah.
It's not clear.
Yeah.
Right? I do very much feel that she felt isolated and alone after she gave birth to Isabella. And she gave birth during a very wild time.
COVID.
It was the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so there's so many things that she talks about that I could connect the dots, and I feel as though I could advocate for her better than
she didn't know how to advocate for herself.
And I think it's because she might, culturally just be coming from a place where she didn't grow up hearing people advocate for themselves or talk. You just kept,
that was my mom's
stiff
experience.
Upper lip, and you just carried on, and you stayed in a marriage, and you worked really hard, and you just built you chose this choice, and now you have to build this life. And I think, and obviously her parents weren't together, but that's because her father had a mental illness. Correct. Not because he ever fell out of love with her mom. So that's just, and they never really spoke about it. So that's another layer of trauma and another thing that they're not talking about. So I think there's a lot wrapped up in that.
Yeah. And it was so crazy to watch. And I've watched this show now for 3 years, but them talking about that in that moment made me think about like my lived experience. I was like, I've literally seen this. And she's telling like, well, you were never affectionate. And then you got me thinking about how maybe it was the other way around. Maybe she stopped being affectionate with him.
Yeah.
Maybe because she was experiencing so many like mental changes post baby, but like, who knows?
No, it probably was. Because here's,
and
you know what I was
this whole
thinking
season
about?
has been about like postpartum and, so it just made me think.
And maybe I have been complaining that they've been shoving so much postpartum down our throats and feeling horrible about it, because like, I'm not saying at all that this isn't real. There's just something about like, I don't know what like, we're talking about the show every week. I don't have anything else to say about it because I don't understand it. I've never experienced it.
Yeah.
It sounds awful. It's made Jasmine not even know like what to do about kids.
Same girl, same.
It seriously has had that same, like, listen, I had already made that decision because I have only watched like every parent that, my mom and dad have been married in a cumulative, who knows? I lost count. But like they all go through this after the kids, they all go through this thing. And what I think is kind of, and just because my conspiracy brain is really on a new level these days, but like with how little we really hear about postpartum in any official like capacity, like not official capacity, but like it's like, the Surgeon General warns about smoking. Like you've heard that 200,000 bajillion times, and you don't really hear that much about postpartum. And it's almost like in the nation's best interest that like not everyone spreads the word about this thing, because like it can really make you be like, that's what so basically I'm a newlywed. We're having a great time. Yeah. And if you're saying that if I have a kid, like whatever % chance is, everything's going to change after that. And like, we're going to hate each other, and we're going to not want to, like, she's going to want to be with me, but not want to be with me, and maybe not be with me the way that she used to be with me. So I've got to figure out what kind of way she wants to be with me now. And like, it's just like, guys aren't really hip to this already, like how, what do women want, And so then to add that kind of like mental and emotional instability and issues and the physical and all the things that like, because we're just not educated about postpartum. Like you wonder why the divorce rate is what it is. Like they don't even know each other for a minute after that. She doesn't know herself after that. Yeah. He just assumes she must hate me because she doesn't want anything to do with me. Right. Like in any of the way that she used to. And so, and she's saying it's her, but like, God, okay, but I've told her a million times, you're so beautiful. I want everything. I want you right now. But like, she's not listening to me. Maybe she doesn't want to listen to me. That's a little kind of convenient. I think she doesn't really like me anymore. And then they just sort of start going in their separate paths.
And if we've learned anything from Kristen and Luke this season, it's that postpartum can really change you as a person, your personality, the way you think about things, the way you communicate, the way you handle situations,
how you receive
things, how you give things back to people. And it's changed both of them. I wouldn't say it's changed Kristen for the worse, but it certainly didn't make Luke a better person or a better husband or anything. So they're both growing in very different directions. And I think that's where my parents' experience, and I think that's probably what Michelle and Jesse experienced, but they didn't have, like you said, the tools to be able to articulate that and like pinpoint why their marriage failed.
Yeah. And if we're already having such a decline in the birth rate, like it's not.
No, they're going to keep that stuff under wraps.
Yeah,
true.
Definitely not going to see any
There's
commercials.
There's like procreate and figure it out later.
If we know anything about it, it's probably because there's pharma that is like.
You're just going to keep seeing, tirzepatide and Botox commercials because that you can sell. You can't really sell postpartum. So after this, we get into the dreaded Janet conversation.
I don't even necessarily feel comfortable talking about this Janet situation because
that's why I'm dreading it.
It is, while it is very unfortunate and a very real issue, it's just so convenient for Janet.
This is where, again, when I was saying earlier, this is where the show is really dropping the ball, where someone could have stood up, not literally, but made the point of, oh, this is what we're talking about, Michelle. You got caught in this lie. We need to figure this out, blah, blah, blah. There's been so many things during this reunion that we've seen where it's just these loose ends that they never tie up. And with the Janet situation, if you've watched this show once, you've heard me say it 100 times, 2 truths. She can absolutely have gone through, and no one here is questioning that, this traumatic experience that has really harmed her on multiple levels that she is still dealing with to this day. That has happened to her. We believe her. That's one thing. The other thing is the timing of when she decided to tell us all of this also gets to be in question because you have decided to share your life on the show. By us questioning, why are you bringing this up now? It's not us saying, we don't believe that didn't happen to you. My thought when she said, Lala is one of my best friends, we've been best friends for years, I thought, wow, this is very interesting that this person has been your best friend for years and you've never told her this off camera. Right? And that was a question for me. And I would have, and there might be a fabulous reason for all of the, and when I say fabulous, I just mean like a reason that will make perfect sense if I asked Janet that, but nobody's touching any of this because they can't, because then you're
such a sensitive subject.
And I can't say this enough. It is horrible what happened. Horrible, not horrible.
I don't even know what happened to her. So honestly, I don't even know what level of horrible this is. I'm sorry, I don't know. And you've just been such an asshole about so many things. You've put me in this position. There's nothing I can do about it. I cannot feel bad about feeling like we're all just supposed to like trust your instincts, right? Like if something's telling you something ain't right, like all we have is our gut and our instinct and you go through life and however many years you've been on this earth and like you take all those things. It's one of my biggest problems with this show is that I feel like no one is taking their past experiences and going, oh, maybe I'm not going to like go for her right now about this thing. Cause I actually remember that I made that bad mistake too. Like that's everywhere. So I'm sorry that I've known this person for this long. I think I told you I'm rewatching the seasons. So like she's been an asshole like this. She's been a little busybody, gossip, shit stirring asshole from day one. I didn't even remember it being from day one at the time when I was watching it because I just don't think I was paying that much attention to her. But now going back, I am. And she's just this person that like, if you give her an inch, she will take a mile and she will take you down a mile long hole and bury you and be like, I don't know, I haven't seen her.
Did you watch the episode of VPR where she's like at Sheena's place and Sheena's like, oh yeah, Janet will make that for you?
Yes.
Like she's like, oh, anyways.
Sewing. When she's in another thing, she's sewing. She's in another thing, making some quesadillas or something.
Yep,
yeah.
Like she's like Sheena's little.
Yes.
Wait.
She's on Sheena's payroll. She's good as gold.
She's good as gold. And even that's what Kristen said about her in that Not Skinny Not Fat podcast. She said she is really good at like really building your ego, like licking your ego. And you're like, wow, I feel really great after hanging out with her today because she's just telling you how amazing you are and doing all these things for you. I can't remember what the last thing was where someone was saying, this wouldn't be happening if Janet was here because she's the one that calls and straightens all this out for us. Like she's that person that's like, you know, we've all had because we've all worked in entertainment for however And so we've all had bosses that it's like anytime anything is like not like the most comfortable it could be, the assistants are on the horn figuring out like getting this confirmation sent and who do I talk to about this and making sure that the day goes perfectly smooth for whatever. That is who Janet has been for these people. She is very useful to them. That's what I think she's done here. And I feel like I didn't get that vibe. Actually, we did get that vibe. We kind of figured her as that, but we've watched it. We've seen the quesadillas and the sewing and this wouldn't be happening if she was there. That's all been happening. I'm going somewhere with this.
We're talking about instincts and how people have they've taken their past experiences and they've thrown that out the window.
So like, I'm not going to throw out every interaction that I have seen this woman on screen do over and over and over and over again, and then be like, oh, she said this one thing that as a society we have really, it's beaten over our heads that like you cannot question it, you cannot ask, you can't look at them funny, you just have to nod and go, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, whoever, like I'm not, like you're just not allowed to have a single thought about it. I think it's absolute crap, but I think it does more good than bad. So I go with it for the most part. But in this instance, I am so done with her. Honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't care what happened anymore. I think she's putting everyone in a very shitty position to have to even decide whether they care or not. You're allowed to not care about someone and to think like, oh, if that happened, nobody asked for that to happen. Nobody wished that happened to you. It doesn't negate any of your other shittiness.
But that's the two truths, right? Like,
yeah.
I can say, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I still don't like you as a person. Just because something bad has happened to you doesn't mean I need to like you now.
Right.
Doesn't mean we need to rekindle some friendship that, quite frankly, I don't think like, yes, they had a real friendship, but the second those cameras went up, you were gunning for Kristen.
Yes.
Didn't invite her to your baby moon. I mean, you and Kristen were really apparently
at one point best friends.
And really close. And Kristen never knew this. And I'm not saying that you owe every person in your life to spill and tell your trauma. What I'm saying is my experience of having very deep friendships are the people that are closest to me know the good, the bad, and the ugly that are my experiences in life. I've never had a best friend for years that I haven't told them, hey, this happened, this in this relationship, my heart was really broken, or I was cheated on, or like if it was something that still affected me. If it's not something that affected me, like
it is.
Just put it in the vault.
Then I'm not telling you because
you're saying what I think happened, and I don't even know how to word that, but I will now because you have no, I'm not saying that you just said it, but I'm saying that the way that you're talking about this is exactly how I feel about it, and I'm going to say it after you finish. Go ahead.
Yes, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I was just going to say there have been multiple times, Natalie and I have spoken a little bit about this on the show, that both of us have had shitty experiences with dudes and Harris too. And
they all suck.
And the thing is,
I don't know any women or gay men that have not been.
Women and gay men were just
prime for the picking. Over here.
And listen,
Continue.
and it was shitty and it was scary, and I would not wish that on anyone. I hope it never happens again to any human being ever. It has not for me. My experience of what happened was, and I don't know what Janet's is, and I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying, for me, it wasn't something that scarred me to the point that I ever felt like I needed to say it to you, because I know you're a woman and you've gone through it also.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh my God, can you believe like so-and-so went on a date, this happened to her? And it's like, oh my God, has happened to me 10 times.
Yeah.
And it's not, and again, I'm not making excuses that this has happened. I'm just saying it wasn't enough for me. Trust me, the stuff that's broken my heart and really me up, Natalie knows about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But but all the stories that I told you, the stories that you had told me because of talking about this essay thing, I had never heard those stories from you. You had never heard these stories from me. And I don't even think of them until something like this happens.
Exactly. And I'll say this, and I'm going to get terrorized for it. And I'm just, this show's over. I'm leaving it all on the field. I don't care. I don't think that she was so affected by this thing during this entire time, it feels to me like I am sure that when that happened, that was horrible. I know that when things happened to me, that was horrible. I don't watch people in my day-to-day life and go, oh God, that makes me feel this thing that happened to me 15 years ago or whatever it is now, maybe 20 years. And I'm not saying that can't happen, but Janet doesn't carry herself in a way that I believe that she even thinks about anything more than like, there's a camera right here and there's these assholes over here and I'm going to get mine. It's all about her. It's about her Hollywood trajectory. I think her life is all built around coming here, meeting these people, getting on this kind of a show, and then I imagine anybody that moved from some middle state out of nowhere, migrated over here, and were lucky enough to get on the show, I would think that most of them would be like, I can't believe we did this. This is amazing. Oh my God, I'm just gonna, whatever you guys need. I'm gonna be so fun to work with. The crew's gonna love me. No, she's like, now I have to take out all these hoes. Now me and Jason have to get to
it's a wild play.
It's deranged.
That's who I think that we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'll go to hell for it. I don't believe that this random thing has been haunting you all these years. And that Danny idiot bucko is what'd she say? Sometimes it just, all the therapy in the world doesn't stop the hair from standing on your arms.
The hair on the back of your neck.
The hair on the back of your neck from when you know something's not right. And he's just sitting there like, this guy is not a guy that causes fear to come over women. I'm sorry, he does not. I'm calling
He gives me the ick.
He gives me the,
fear.
You're so embarrassing, dude. Like, you're so embarrassing. Oh my God, if you only knew what you look like right now. Like, that's who Danny is. It's not like, this guy's about to do something that's going to take all my power.
Jax.
Fear of God.
Fear of God.
Yes,
oh my
I'm
God,
saying
get this
all the
demon out of
prayers.
here.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't buy this. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that didn't happen. I don't think that she is affected in the way that she is claiming to be. I think it is all very self-serving. I've said it and I'll move on.
One thing that really irked me was the line where she said, I do everything I can to protect myself when I see things like behavior or traits like this in people. And it's like, oh, so you go to take people out, completely ruin their livelihood, their character, their marriage, their families. That's what you call protection?
Yeah.
You have to take someone else out to make yourself feel better?
Yeah.
Or these boundaries. I've drawn these lines. I have these boundaries. I keep my guard up. They get off this television show, you dumbass.
Yeah.
But also, I'm sorry, honey.
No, continue.
If you're so needing to stay protected because of something that was so traumatic that happened to you, one, I would think it would be in your best interest to tell your husband that this happened so that he can help protect you. Two, and she didn't, she just told him, right? She said it was after they were married.
It was, I think she told him after, so I don't know when that
they haven't been married for that long.
Oh,
I mean, what possibly, maybe 5 years, maybe?
Yeah, I truly have
As
to
So
if
I'm just
I
saying,
care.
like, that's an interesting, like, you would think that, and I'm not questioning that, like, this is what people really need to hear me on. I'm not questioning that something bad happened or that what she felt something was awful that happened.
Something bad happened because something bad's happened to everyone. So yes, I believe you, but it's not because you're a believable person. It's because some shit like this has happened to every woman I know. You're not special.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, right. I'm not questioning that at all. What I'm saying is, if this was because she says all the therapy in the world and she's been in all of this therapy, you've been in all of this therapy and the therapist never told you that you were SA'd because she said, I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
You've been in all this therapy and your therapist never said it might be a good thing to tell your life partner who is sexually intimate with you that this happened to you and you might get triggered at a certain point and he should know that.
Yeah.
Or here's a way that you can help make me feel safe and protected because I walk around the world not feeling that way because of this thing that happened to me. Also, you are going to have a man who has physically been abusive to a woman in your house on Christmas.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
And you're okay with that?
Correct.
But but Danny is sending you over the edge.
I'm sorry, bitch.
No.
I don't buy your shit for a second. You are so full of shit. And even if all of that is true, and normally someone like Jax would make her feel that way, it's because she thought that he was her boss. So she's, not like her, but like someone who was going to make a decision that would
amplify her.
That would either lift her up or send her packing back to Ohio or wherever the fuck she's from. And I just think it's like that is why I don't believe you. I just don't take you for your word. I believe this happened to you because I believe it's happened to everyone, and that's it, and that's all. That's the only reason I believe you, Janet, is because it's happened to everyone. That's it.
And it's really upsetting because it shows truly who she is, that something terrible can befall you, right? As it has with everybody who's in this room, everybody who's watching. And I'm so sorry about those things for all of us, right? You can still be accountable for things in the midst of something really crappy happening.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't give you this pass, carte blanche, to be an asshole to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think Janet would have just won so much affection from people if she could have said, this happened to me, and I realized how much I'm still affected. I thought I wasn't affected by it. I clearly was triggered by this. I clearly was triggered by the fact that I do think that Danny has a drinking problem because I grew up with someone who was in active addiction. My father was an alcoholic, and this is stuff that I need to work out. And Danny, if you're saying that those aren't your issues, that's fine. Maybe I just need to have some space from you. If she could talk about it, it would bring everyone together and we would actually get something from this conversation and it would be worth the watch. But because she doesn't do that and she just puts this happened to me and that's why the hair on the back of my neck stands up, now we're all stymied and no one can have a good, constructive, healing conversation about this, because if we say anything slightly that could be possibly maybe thought of as we don't believe you, then we're all monsters. Yeah. And that is simply not the case. It is not helpful, and it doesn't help drive these conversations forward in a way that can actually affect change. And that's why I'm irritated with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of that. She never needed to, like, Danny's so delusional, like, just like how he's always like wanted this apology from her. Like I've always just been like, just like you guys don't talk to each other anymore. Like there's just there's you don't need to come back from this. And the way that Janet kept trying to get back with Nia was, again, like, if this guy is so triggering to you, why are you even trying to like make roadways with her? Like, she's clear, like everything that you've said about Nia is that she just has his back over everything and she's just going to cover up everything. So like, why did you keep trying to make up with her? It's because you just wanted shit to be cool on the show. If you really had this feeling about it and the hairs are standing up on the back of your neck and it's just also triggering, you would just avoid this whole situation. At the very least, avoid them. But you keep making moves because you just want the show to go better. You want to stay in good with the show. You don't want this thing to be hovering over you. Like, it's not about what you're like, oh, I'm just not capable of being around these people and not feeling this way. Clearly you are, when it can aid you in your Hollywood dreams, you know, and it's just so transparent. And I normally, as I always say, I love it when people are so see-through because you know exactly what you're getting. I don't love knowing all this about Janet. She's making me want to come out of my skin. Like she everything about her, I'm just like, I never want to speak her name again. I never want to see her face again. She's Voldemort. Like, just, I don't know how we do the next season of this. Like,
I don't either. Like, I don't either.
Because I will literally just say, like, she's dead and buried to me. She does not exist. But if they're going to continue making her some weird A story, but that's not even an A story because nothing's happening. But like, she's dominating. Just her whole awfulness is just dominating everything. Like, this is crazy.
Here's something I just want to bring up before we get to go watch our next segment. I'm sure that, listen, this is not a binary experience. This is trauma in any form affects us all differently. You don't know when it's going to get re-triggered, or, you know, something can happen and you truly can I know people that have been SA'd,
blacked out.
Yep. Or like, you know, can you say been, bad things have happened to them sexually when they were a child, 5, 6 years old, whatever.
Yeah.
They've completely blacked it out, right? Of course. They are not even cognizant, obviously, that they blacked it out. And then years later, something happens and they recognize, oh my God, someone really hurt me. And I need to go talk to some, right? So I can understand maybe that happened to Janet, or maybe she thought she had dealt with it, but this happening has brought it up again. All of that can be true, right? Because I know we were questioning why now, or if blah, blah, blah. Great. All of that can be true, but the other stuff still remains where we now we're talking about it. So we have to create some sort of a platform to be able to have a healthy discourse about it. Because if you just throw that wall up and say, well, nobody can say anything, because if you do, you're all the things that no one wants to be, right? You're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're xenophobic, all the phobics, all the ists, right? It's like, no, but I'm not. I just want to have a conversation about this because it's very layered. And so you can have your trauma. That can be a very real experience for you. And we still can have a constructive conversation that moves the needle on this in some way.
And for me, that first question within the discourse of that is, what does this have to do with Danny?
I can understand, right? If I'm totally coming from Janet's side, right? You're now triggered by anyone that you have been around that you perceive as a sexual threat. Where I would start, okay, that's fine. But you've been told by the person that this happened to that they didn't feel threatened. They're okay with it. We have healed.
They've moved on.
Right? You don't have to be around this person. We can get you can go into more therapy. Like there's just ways that you can take yourself out of this purgatory that you're living in because.
But she chooses to stay in it.
That's right.
So
it can have everything to do with Danny, and it can still have everything to do with you. And there can be a way for you to heal yourself with this. Not saying that you're going to be able to completely wash it from your brain, but that's not how life works. You can't wash anything from your brain.
No.
If I'm sorry, but like if this is what you say it is, then you don't talk to these people anymore. Yeah. And honestly, if it's this bad where the hair on your neck is standing up and when something's not right, like.
And get off the show.
Honestly, get the show.
Yeah, then maybe this isn't the healthiest thing.
This isn't the right environment for you.
There. You couldn't unless they've gotten so used to the money that they're like, why should we have to leave? They should then that's your decision.
That's also your choice.
You've decided then. And why are you dragging us through this? And I think that we are in such a position about just like the things like that you're just not allowed to ask about, you're not allowed to talk about, you're not like I think it builds up so much resentment in people that are just like, so this person that has shown me nothing but deceit, now I'm basically just like, I've been just sequestered, or I've just been diminished to nodding and smiling. Like I don't nod and smile to anyone, and this bitch is going to be the person I'm supposed to do that to. Like,
no, and thank you.
No.
And that's what happened in Harry Potter.
Wait, what happened in Harry Potter?
That's what everyone would do when Voldemort would be brought up.
Oh. Dude.
She's literally Voldemort.
She really
She's
is
straight up Voldemort.
And so, yeah, when everyone's going to say, how dare you, when you say the words like convenient. So that's so convenient. It's a word for a reason. It's come into, it's popped into so many people's minds for a reason. And if you can't understand that is human nature to identify, that's patterns, an odd thing, a pattern in someone, and like how you're just not going to throw out all those patterns because of this one thing that shall not be challenged arises. Like, I don't know. I've just reached a point in my life where like it's like opposite, like the magnets that like
repel.
I'm repelled by that now because I have watched how much division so many of those kinds of things have caused in this country alone that has just made every Thanksgiving dinner so weird, and anytime you're traveling, you don't know, so weird. Like everything's weird because no one's allowed to say anything.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
If we can have, and I get it, a lot of people suck at communication, but we got to get better because there needs to be a way to have a healthy not a gotcha. I'm not listening just so I can spew my talking points at you, because that's not listening. To have a healthy discourse with
to understand
with so much.
Yeah. Not listening to react.
That's right.
To go
That's
into
right.
any conversation, and listen, I'm totally guilty of this. I'm no judgment. It is very human nature, but it is, if everyone could ask themselves, like when they are having these conversations with the people, if they're only there because they can't wait to fire off these 10 things that they've been either learned or indoctrinated with, or whatever it is, if the only upside is to maybe take some understanding away from somewhere. You're not going to win. No one is winning in these.
You're trying to win at a losing game.
Yeah.
Do shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back. We're going to the next segment.
Thank God.
God knows what's next on this.
Oh, God help us all.
Oh, it's. Should we just cut for?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Lies. We are fake news. We're back and we are breaking here for part 2. So follow us over that way for part 2. As always, Nat gets it up as soon as possible. And like, subscribe, hype, and tell a friend.
All those
We'll
things.
see you next time in the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, for the last time.
Thank God.
Now I'm gonna start this fresh. So just so we can.
Okay. Yeah.
To your opinions as she was to